It's quite a sufficient answer. Question number 6, the Honourable David Parker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. How much revenue will ACC levies, over and above those recommended by ACC in 2012, contribute to the Crown's finances in 2013-14? And if he had followed the advice of ACC, what would have been the effect on the surplus or deficit in 2014-15?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, as the ACC Minister said last December at the time of the previous decision was made to keep ACC levies unchanged, the government was focused on ensuring that the signs of improved performance in ACC could be sustained over time in order to avoid volatility in the levies, that is, dropping them and then having to increase them. At the time, we also said that we took into account a reduction in ACC levies would have a direct impact on the Crown's operating balance. In answer to the question, ACC recommended a $317 million reduction in 2013-14, rising to $383 million in 14-15, which would have passed through directly to the OBGAL balance if they'd been accepted. As it happened, Budget 2013 subsequently allowed for levy reductions of around $300 million in 2014-15, increasing to around $1 billion in 2015-16. These have been fully incorporated into the budget forecasts and will remain on track to surplus.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Does he agree with the Honourable Judith Collins, who stated at a party conference just this last Saturday that both the earners and workers' accounts are now fully funded? And if so, why is he not lowering ACC levels now as recommended?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, we've signalled the path in the budget, and ACC levies will be reduced on the 1st of April, which is the next possible opportunity after following the correct statutory process, which means that decisions will be announced in November. But it is important to understand that the success of ACC has been built on improved rehabilitation, that is, getting more people back to work sooner, and we've been anxious to ensure that its improved performance under Minister Smith and then Minister Collins is well bedded in so that levy reductions don't have to be reversed later.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Is the government taking more than $650 million extra in ACC levies than was recommended? And does he realise that that's the equivalent of 325 years of the $2 million per annum extra going from government funding into food and schools announced today?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, whether you regard it as extra is a matter of what you think the core performance level is of ACC. Under the previous government, that wouldn't have been near enough, actually, because ACC was performing so poorly on rehabilitating injured people and people who had serious accidents. Now that it's improved, we have the opportunity to pass those levies through. The government has been conservative about it. That's consistent with the way we've managed all government finances.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Parker.
Why is his government using ACC as a stealth tax?
Honourable Bill
English. I think the point of the budget announcements is that we're using it as a stealth tax cut, actually, and that is, over 3 years, we'll be able to leave $1.6 billion per year after 3 years in the hands of New Zealand's businesses and households because the performance of ACC is greatly improved compared to the time when that government was in charge.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Parker.
Given that the Minister of Finance has just admitted that he's using ACC as a future stealth tax cut, it's exactly what he said, how is it proper for National to use ACC as a political jelly bean jar, overfilling it now, and then doling out the lollies in election year?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, that of course wouldn't be acceptable. We're treating it according to prudent financial management. But the difference here is that this government cares sufficiently about rehabilitating people with serious injuries and accident victims, and that's what we focused on. The result of that is an improvement in the government's books and lower levies for businesses and companies. What works for those who are injured and vulnerable is the most important. Now that we're delivering that, there are benefits for the government's books.
Question number 7, Scott Simpson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Justice.